So yeah, we could use a block here in a little bit. I think that's the only tool that we might want to use today. But let's go ahead and get started with just some releves. So we'll just be activating our legs. And so we're just standing and we're slowly with control coming up onto the balls of the feet and then lowering back down, heels to ground. And really feeling the balance, the muscles, and just thinking about the body position, right? So oftentimes we have a tendency towards kind of a booty pop, maybe, you know, like something like this, and there's like a little bend at the hips. But whenever we're really engaging through the legs, we want to kind of have the hips pressing forward a little bit. The hip flexors are kind of engaged and pressing forward with the engagement of the glutes. So then we'll do our palm tree vinyasa. Interlace your fingers, point your palms up towards the ceiling, come up into releve, and then you can reach your chin down. And if your heels come back down, that's fine, just come right back up. Reach, 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 and find the really good body position with your legs, with your hip flexors, with your glutes, engaging, grounding your tailbone down, reaching up through your arms, reaching through your ribs and your armpits. And then slowly exhaling, lowering the heels back down. Inhale, reach your palms up towards the ceiling. And exhale and bend to one side, opening up the upper side ribs. Inhale, back up to standing. Exhale to the other side, opening up those ribs. Inhale and come to standing. And we'll twist to one side, shooting that hip forward and looking in the direction we're twisting. Inhale, back to the front. Exhale, twist the other way, pushing that same hip forward and looking deeply in the direction that you're twisting. Inhale, back to the front. Exhale your arms down to a T shape. Inhale, flip your palms over. Exhale and twist and shoot that same side hip forward, looking in the direction that you're twisting. Inhale, back to the front. Exhale, twist the other way. Look deeply, pushing that hip forward. Inhale, back to the front. Exhale the arms up overhead, interlace the fingers, come into releve. And inhale, reach, 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 reach. And then we'll exhale, set the heels back down, hinge at your hips, forward fold until you're about horizontal. And then bring your arms wide to airplane. Bring your arms back up overhead on your inhale, arms in line with ears. And inhale, back up to standing on your next inhale. Super strong legs, micro bend in your knees. Drag your palms down the center line. Hinge at your hips, forward fold. Reach your hands for the ground, release your head down, relax your jaw. Gently shake your head yes, like your head is a pendulum, swinging. Gently shake your head no. We'll inhale to half lift the spine, reaching through the crown of the head, and exhale to lower, 2 more like this. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, lower, balancing hips over feet. Rippling up the spine. And then arms in line with ears. Super strong legs, come all the way back up to standing. Reach with your arms up towards the ceiling. Arms come down to your sides and interlace your fingers. On an inhale, lift your arms up and back. On an exhale, forward fold. Continue to lift your arms up and back. Taking some gentle breaths here. Slow, steady, smooth breaths in and out of your nose. On your next inhale, rise up, but keep your arms up. Keep your arms up really high. And then we'll either take prayer pose behind the back, or you can grab your wrists, or you can grab your elbows. And we'll keep pushing that same side hip forward as we twist, pushing the arms or the hands into the opposite side of the back muscles. and looking in the direction we're twisting. Inhale back to the front. Exhale, twisting the other way, pushing into the opposite side of the back muscles, so jutting that hip forward. And inhale back to the front. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale back up to standing and add a little back bend here. Pushing through your upper back. And release your arms. All right, we'll do some little kicking exercises here, and they may or may not move, so you may or may not need space. We're just kicking up and then down and trying to point the toe as much as possible 10 times. If you haven't switched, go ahead and switch other side. Keep your tailbone grounded, and we're not trying to tuck the tail, right? We're trying to keep it neutral. Awesome. So step to the top of your mat, or make sure that there's plenty of space behind you. Bend your knees, sweep your arms up to fierce pose with knees bent and hips sinking down. And we'll stay here for a moment, tractioning the feet apart from each other. Traction your feet apart and really feel that engagement, that deep engagement through the backside of your body and through the sides of your legs. Opening up through your upper back. Let's go ahead and start to see about bringing this shape, the fierce pose or lightning bolt, into releve. Okay, so come up onto the balls of your feet and add a little booty pop. So totally opposite from what we've been doing so far. We are now really bending at the hips, adding a back bend. And as you do this, you can pull your shoulders back. Lifting and lowering, maybe doing the lifting on an inhale, maybe doing the lowering on an exhale. And then we'll forward fold, swan diving down. Exhale. And we're gonna step back to plank pose. Let's go ahead and do a little push-up here. Just one. And then lower it down to belly. Tummy time. So you can do any shapes that you'd like here. I like to swim it out. What we really want to focus on is pressing the hips down into the ground and really engaging through the whole back body. The entire back body. So we want glutes, the leg muscles, the backs of the legs. We want the whole back. So including like the upper back. So pull your shoulder blades together. We want also a lifting of the chest and a looking up. And this informs the posture, making it into a back bend, a deep back bend. Let's see if we can rock it forward and back. All right, and we're gonna push back into child's pose. If it feels good, you can have your knees together. If that doesn't feel good, you can have your knees coming apart. Breathing slow, steady, and smooth in and out of your nose. Check in with your body here and just notice the state of your body. Let's draw fingers back towards hips and come up into standing on the knees. Let's flex the feet. And you can sit back onto your heels. We'll start to rotate wrists. And we're really gonna feel into the space of the wrists here and just like slow it down. So we've done this before, yeah, and we know about the movement, but how we paid a lot of attention to all the little clicks and pops to the tendons and the ligaments and everything that's going on in here. And just notice the difference between the right and the left side. Notice if you feel any tightness and if it's different on the other side. Notice where it feels more smooth. And then take it the other way. Noticing any crunching or popping. Just slowing it down to pay a lot of attention. And we're going to take fingers and point them towards the hips. And walk your knees back a little bit and really get into the stretch here. And we're going to add a grip. So get into your stretch, find your edge, and then push your hips forward a little bit. And then we're going to grip the ground, grabbing, pulling shoulders away from ears, lifting chest, and release your grip. Grip the ground, tone your arms, and release. Grip and breathe. Continue your breath, your rhythmical breathing. Gripping the ground, gripping your core while you're doing it, and releasing. A couple more like this. All right. And then we'll take and flip the hands the other way. So we're on the tops of the hands. Fingers are pointing towards knees. But you can go ahead and reach your fingers towards your wrists if you like, and slap your fingernails on the ground. If it feels good. If not, we're just kind of finding the edge here and breathing into it. Breathing and moving in these movements kind of helps to make sure that if we have loosey-goosey connective tissue, that we're really taking care of it. So that continuous tone and movement is really good. All right, and then we're coming back up onto the knees. We can shake it out. Shake, shake, shake. Shake, shake, shake. And come up onto your knees. Let's make fists, really strong fists. And then we're taking hands wide, fists and wide. And then we're bringing the arms up and wide. And then down the front. And then up the front. Make it faster. And then down the sides. All right, let's stand up and shake it out. We'll do our Qigong. Shake, shake, shake into your heels. Feel that reverberation all the way through your upper body. Shake those fractals out of your fingertips, just allowing all of the stuck energy, anything that feels tight, just to come right out of your fingertips. Let's add a little bit of shoulder circles here, just a little bit to activate. Little shoulder circles forward. Like really squeeze your shoulder blades together. And also at the same time, we're pulling arms away from the center. And then go backwards with your circles. Squeeze your body. So we're gonna take the legs into horse stance, knees bent. Squeeze your legs, just like in chair pose. A little bit bigger with your circles forward. And now traction your feet apart from each other. Awesome, we're doing all the things with the body all at the same time, and backwards. Keep breathing, slow, steady, and smooth. Taking your arms in backward circles, and then a little bit bigger, circles forward, tractioning your feet towards each other. And backwards. And now we're gonna take palms forward, pulse, pulse, and back, pulse, pulse. We're just moving through just to get some range of motion, really getting into maybe even a deeper range. We're gonna take this to the wall. So with palms forward, touch the wall with your palms. Oh, I forgot to tell you that you need a wall, but you could use a couch, you could use anything, right? We're gonna take the hips back, stacking the hips on top of the feet, and really keeping your arms strong. So even try to externally rotate through your arms and turn your elbow pits up towards the ceiling. And release your head down. Couple breaths here, breathing rhythmically. Release your head, feeling your neck lengthen. Feeling your armpits stretch. All right, and we'll come back up. And again, shaking into the heels. Okay, stepping again to the front of the mat. We'll bend the knees, sink the hips, and bring the arms up. Let's go through our releve contortion chair a few times. So coming onto the balls of the feet and arching the spine. And when you arch the spine, take your shoulders back and look up. Have your breath be on one part and have your other side of your breath be on the other part of the movement. And we're gonna exhale, swan dive down, forward fold. Inhale, half lift your spine. Exhale, back to plank pose. Shifting into one arm and then the other. We'll take it all the way to side plank and then other side plank. So moving through side planks here. And now we're shifting our hips back into downward facing dog. Press your chest back. Land here in your down dog, our first down dog, and really just find the good structure. So you want to have hands wide enough so that your shoulders fit in between. You want to externally rotate through the arms and really feel the hands planted, gripping the ground. Press your chest back towards your thighs, and then traction your feet apart from each other. And then let's see about tractioning the feet towards each other. Planted into all four corners or three corners or however you see it of your feet. And here we're going to start to lower the elbows towards the ground. So you're going to turn your elbow pits out and just bend your elbows just a little bit. And you can lift your head and look between your arms, between your forearms here, and keep a relaxed neck. And we're not going all the way down into dolphin yet, but we're just kind of thinking about it. All right, and now we're gonna take the right leg up and back and press into the right hand, and then come onto the fingertips of the left hand. Bird dog. If you feel like you got it, you can see about lifting your left hand. Balancing. And then place that hand back down onto the ground. And then we'll see about taking the right elbow down and up. Right elbow down and up. And down and up. And it might not be going all the way down, and that's fine. And then we're gonna big toes touch. Reset. Bring the other leg up and back. And come up onto your fingertips on your right hand. Maybe see about lifting that right hand up. This position actually comes, this position actually comes from the regular down dog, not from the feet together. I'm sorry. So we have to have feet shoulder width apart when we start this. So get your feet shoulder width apart and then lift your left leg up and back and come onto your fingertips of your right hand. And then see how that's different. Finding your bird dog from there. All right, and then we take that right hand back down and reach the left elbow down towards the ground. What kind of engagement needs to happen for this to occur? Just feeling into your body. All right, and then take your foot back down to the ground. And we'll come to our knees, sliding up to rock pose, sitting your hips on your feet. And we'll open up the chest and reach the arms up overhead, coming into this seated position where we're really arching the back. So arch your spine, press the toenails into the ground and use that for some leverage to really arch your spine. And then we're going to think about the upper back. So imagine that you have little cords or little strings tied to your vertebrae. And each string is tied to each vertebrae. And we're starting at the bottom, right? We're like pulling the string forward. And it is opening the front body. Pulling all the strings forward and then taking that bend into your neck as well. Strong neck, looking up at the ceiling. Keep lifting through your sternum. Keep opening through your shoulders. And release your hands down. So coming into child's pose, just for a moment. Let's just do one breath here. And let's come on up into our downward facing dog yet again. We'll take right leg up and back. And then we're gonna step forward with the right leg, but we're gonna step around the right hand. So then coming with the back knee down onto the ground. And we're gonna find some movement here. So we're gonna go straight leg, off to the side of the right hand, and then bent leg. Straight leg and bent leg. And finding the movement that really feels good in your body, like really tapping in and asking yourself, what do I need? You can be doing any kind of swirly, twisty, strengthening movement stuff here, just like whatever feels good. If you have more hip tightness, then you might want to focus more in on your lunges. If there's more like back of the leg tightness, then you might want to focus in on the straight front leg monkey position. So we'll keep going for another couple of rounds here. Just feeling in. When you straighten out your leg, you can go ahead and expand your back body and feel that expansion, like really drawing you up, kind of like cat pose. And the bent knee, the lunge, is more like a cow pose. So moving through cat and cow here as well. And these movements come from the sacrum first. All right, so let's take that leg back and we'll go for the other side. Downward facing dog. Lift your left leg up and back. And then step that leg around the outside of your left hand. Again, we're moving through monkey, straight leg, and lunge, bent leg. Finding our groove, just kind of noticing what you need. And it doesn't have to be the same on both sides. You can discern in to each side and it might be different. Let's add that movement of a cow shape, so a back bend on your lunge, and a cat shape, an expansive back body on your monkey pose. Moving from the sacrum first, taking the bend all the way up the spine. Really asking your body what it needs. Any kind of twisting, any kind of mobility stuff here. We just really want to get comfy and warm. All right. And we're coming back to downward facing dog. You can walk it out. Relax your head, your neck, your jaw. Press into your fingertips. All right, here we're gonna actually go for dolphin. So what we're doing is we're externally rotating through the arms, and then we're releasing elbows down towards the ground. We're just gonna see about it. Have the down be maybe on your in or your out breath, and then the coming up goes on the other side of it. And we also want to have, however far apart your hands are, you want your elbows that far apart as well. Right? So we don't want to be making a triangle shape with our arms. We want parallel arms. All right. And we're pressing back into downward facing dog. Relax your head, your neck, your jaw. All right, we're gonna set our knees down onto the ground and come up to standing on the knees. So here we'll take a different approach to back bending. We have been using the bend coming from the sacrum and coming up like a wave up the spine. But here we're gonna really stabilize through the legs, pressing those hip flexors forward, engaging the glutes. And you can even be tractioning with your knees apart so that you can find that stable base, that stable foundation. And we're gonna go into camel, but we're gonna use a bend at the neck first. So first bend your neck, and then take the bend all the way down your back. You can press your hands into your hips, or if it's available for you and you'd like to go hands to ankles, you can. We're gonna breathe in whatever pose we're finding for 5 breaths. Steady, smooth breaths in and out of the nose. And be sure to just find tone and refinement with every breath. So water falling back and then taking your pose. Breathing slow, steady, and smooth. Every breath is a new chance to find that deepening pose, that strong structure. And remember that, so inhaling to come up, remember that as we're back bending, there might be a less of a lung capacity. So you're just maybe gonna have a slightly more shallow breath, and that's fine, right? So we just keep it smooth and rhythmical as much as we can, and we're golden. So we can go ahead and child's pose just for a moment here, and we're gonna go back into camel here in a second. And as you're coming up, drag your fingers back towards your knees, expand through your back body, like cat pose, and then come up onto your knees again. Really strong legs, strong foundation, get stable in your position. And then reach up through the crown of your head, reach your spine nice and long, and then bend through your neck and take the bend all the way down your back. Breathing and refining with every breath. Keep expanding through your whole front body, the entire front side. If it feels like you want to, you can try to walk your hands towards your knees. And then see about releasing your head down towards the ground by strengthening through your quads. So we're strong quads as we lower, and then coming back up. Come all the way back up. Coming into downward facing dog, hips high. Let's take right leg up and back. And we're gonna go toe towards head, shift your shoulders forward over your hands, bend your knee, look up, bend all the way through your back and reach your head towards your toe. Even come up into releve on your standing foot. And then lower back your heel down to the ground, and then shift your chest back forward, come back into releve. Lower your heel down, come back into releve. All right, nice work. We're stepping that right foot around the right hand. And here we're gonna take the shoulder under the right knee. So we're gonna find like a backpack. Keep taking your shoulder under your right knee until it really feels like it's under there. So we can just keep doing this action a little bit until we really get situated as far in as we can go. Your leg might be hanging out on your tricep. It might be on your deltoid. And it might be on your shoulder. So it just is where it is. And then we're gonna turn the elbows in towards the hips. I want your elbows to try to reach. It's almost like they're trying to reach towards your hip bones. And then straighten your leg out in front of you. So your leg is gonna come off the ground, your toe's gonna come off the ground, and then lower it back down. Lift it up, and lower it down. Lift it up, and lower it down. Woo! Feels good. Now flex your back foot, and we're gonna swing that leg back into one-legged downward facing dog. Really good. Again, we're going shifting the shoulders over the hands, and then we're coming toe towards head. Bring your foot up into releve, and then take your heel back down. And see how that shifts your body. I'm wearing socks. Releve and back down. Keep doing this for another 2 times. Shifting your shoulders forward and back as you releve and put your hips down, or your heel down. And then we can bring that leg back down. Walk out your dog. Do whatever you need to feel comfortable in your spine. And then the other leg goes up and back. One-legged downward facing dog with the left leg up. We'll shift the shoulders forward and bend the knee, reaching the head up towards the toe. Inhale and come into releve. Exhale, take your heel down. Keep doing this for another 5 or so. Feeling into the shapes that you're creating here. And what's available, really engaging through your back, engaging through your glutes, opening through your front body. Shifting shoulders forward and back, and then step around your left foot. Drop your back knee. We'll take the hips up a little bit and take your shoulder under your knee. And just keep that movement going, like you're trying to put on a backpack that just keeps sliding off of your shoulder. Keep on putting on your backpack. This is really exorcist-y looking, right? Like it looks kind of creepy. And then get it as far as it'll go. And then we start to straighten that front leg. And then lower it down. Straighten it. And lower it down. Straighten. And let's hold it. Flex your back foot. And then we're gonna come up into our one-legged downward facing dog. Again, we're moving through, releve, and lowering the heel back down. Releve and heel back down. Let's go 3 more. Notice how this side is different from the other side. Look up, look up, look up. Especially in your releve. Just see what you can do. Awesome. And then bring that foot back down. Walk it out. All right, so lizard we've worked on a little bit before. Let's do a little bit of just deep stretching to get ourselves ready for lizard, okay? So we just did a little bit of it, but we want to try to maybe add some flex to it, some flexibility to it. So we're gonna sit and you're gonna grab your leg like it's a baby. Wrap your elbow pit around the outside edge, your pinky toe side of your foot, and then around your knee, and then sit up nice and tall. So we're really trying to get into the hip here. You should feel it here. Then we're gonna take that foot into the center of the chest. Oh, feeling even different places. So just identify where you're feeling it. Try to sit tall with your spine. And then we're taking foot to ear. So this is kind of, we're already going into a backpack, right? Foot to ear, but also tall spine. Keep breathing. You're doing great. And then we're gonna grab with the hand around the front side of the foot with the thumb pointing down on the pinky toe side. Kickstand the other hand. So we're using opposite hand to foot. Kickstanding the other hand, and then slowly straightening out that leg and look up towards your elbow. Keep pushing through your heel, having a flexed foot. So your leg might be bent, that's fine. We're just gonna keep on going from wherever we are. Wherever you are, just keep on pressing through your edge. We're not pushing too far past the edge, but we wanna play with it. Breathing slow, steady, and smooth. See what you can engage in your hips and your legs to change your position, to get deeper. Pull your elbow, your upper elbow back more and look towards it. Press into your grounded hand, grip the ground with your hand. One more breath. And release. And then little waves through the spine, just to kind of shake that off. Other side. Grab your leg like a baby. Pinky toe edge into the elbow crease. Knee into the other elbow. And then we're side to side. Breathing. Try to sit tall with your spine, pulling your chest towards your shin. And then take your foot to the center of your chest, sit up tall, pull your foot in. Breathing, tall spine. And then take your foot to your ear, towards your ear. But also, at the same time, sit up tall. Both things are happening. Breathing slow, steady, and smooth. You got this. And then we're reaching across, opposite hand grips, thumb down onto the pinky toe side of the foot, front side of the foot. And then we kickstand the hand. And we try to straighten out that leg, looking up towards the upper elbow. Keep breathing and doing your best to straighten out that leg, pushing through your heel, toning through your legs, twisting through your spine. We're stabilizing through the grounded hand. And take your elbow back even further. Look towards your elbow. Twist even more. Keep breathing slow, steady, and smooth as much as you can. Maybe it's a little bit more shallow. That's okay. One more breath. And we release. Nice work. So we're going into this position, and I'm going to show you how to get there. I'll show it on the other side as well. We're pressing the elbow in towards the inside of the hip bone, leaning forward and lifting. Let me show it from the front. So the elbow goes in to the belly, and you have to have a really strong belly to get into this position. And we're gonna go hips off to the side, put your elbow in your belly, bring your knee forward, and then your same side knee forward, and then your other leg comes up off of the ground as you lean yourself forward. One of the tricks that you can use here is putting your front knee on the ground, just to see about it. Yeah? So, again, I'm coming off to the side of my hand, my shoulder with hands. I'm taking my elbow and putting it on the inside of my hip bone, and then I'm leaning forward to lift my legs off of the ground. The other thing I can do is straighten my leg and use my foot on the ground for support. So I'm gonna come forward and I'm gonna see what you guys got going on. And also feel free to unmute and ask any questions. I want you to really feel your chest lifted in this one. This is gonna keep us from face planting.
Are we like putting our leg on our arm too, or just our like abdomen?
It's just your abdomen. Yeah. And there might be maybe like a part of your leg. That's a really good question. Let me check it out. I come off to the side, and I don't have any part of my leg on my arm. But that doesn't mean that you won't. And you can try straightening out either leg or both. And you can try adding even more of a back bend in this too. So whatever feels really good, you know, we're just going for whatever is available or whatever it is that we're wanting for this today. Yeah, and there might be parts of the body touching the ground, and that's totally fine. That's how you get started with this. It's just like having something connected, right? Nice. I'm seeing legs lifting. This is great. Nice work. So just try it on both sides, maybe a couple of times. Let me know if you need any help. And then whenever you feel complete, you can also just go into child's pose or go into down dog. Yeah, so that, yeah, and actually this goes into chest stand. So, correct. Nice. Juanita looks good. Okay. Yeah, you can totally take it into whatever you want. That's what I do with it in my practice. Nice. Oh my gosh, I'm seeing lots of legs high. I'm seeing lots of elbows in, hips. And it looks really good. And the stabilization, remember, is like just keeping that chest up, because if you're falling forward, that means that your chest is lowering. and you need to like lift it back up and really strengthen through your back body and really think about all of that back strengthening that we just did, like tummy time, right? Tummy time and like really opening through your front body. Yeah, really good. Okay, so let's finish it up. Make sure you've done some of that on both sides. Get yourself a child's pose for just a moment. Relax. And then drag yourself up to standing or to seated on your feet to rock pose. We're just going to check in with the hands really quickly. So we're going to take palms down like they're sitting on top of a table. And then I want you to take and shorten towards, pinky towards the wrist. So it looks like this. And then shorten thumb towards wrist. But we're on tabletop. So just kind of pulsing in to each different movement, just feeling into those sides, because those are something that we want to be activated and strong. We're gonna go into a dolphin and we're gonna see about elbow stand. Okay, the next piece is to activate teres. And teres are the muscles back here in the armpits, like here. And we want to activate them by taking the elbows towards the hips and pulling the arms apart. So I'm finding just like a little place to pulse inside of, just right here. So I'm like elbows in towards hips and I'm trying to squeeze my armpits. And every time I squeeze and release, I'm like doing, crunches with my armpit muscles. So it takes a little bit of time to find your armpit muscles. So just keep on going, breathing, slow, steady, and smooth breaths. And we'll go for like 30 more or so. Just we're trying to find those armpit muscles. And if you want to tell me that you found them, you can unmute and tell me. If you want to tell me that you can't find them, you can do that too. If you want to add a booty band, that might help. But we really have to be doing the work of toning the armpit muscles in order for that to work. Okay, so I like to have them out here. So maybe even if you had like a wider band, that would help, because it's nice to like shorten the space between the backside of the arm and the back. So we can really feel like we're squeezing the armpit muscle. So keep going with your teres activation. We really want teres activated because when we're in our arms parallel position for elbow stand, for Pincha Mayurasana, people like have a tendency, right, to like have their elbows come out. And then your chest falls, right? And then everything kind of topples forward. And then we're not in a back bend anymore because your chest is now forward. Now you're like more forward folding. We want to keep the chest open. We want to keep everything moving in towards a back bend. Okay, maybe we're there. Let's try it out, yeah? So, I shake it out a little bit because that was a lot. And we're going to take our hands to the ground. Forearms are parallel to each other. You can actually have your palms of your hands face up and then traction your forearms apart from each other and then rotate your hands down, palms down for the ground, and feel that suction cup action that just happened in your forearms. And then from here, we're going to take the hips up high and step the feet towards the elbows. This is our dolphin pose. Now look up like you're in cobra. And then see if you can walk your feet towards your hands or your elbows just a little bit more. And then add your cobra. See if you can walk them a little bit more. And add your cobra. Really nice. Okay, so now we're going to take a break. Release and relax your hands. Shake out your arms. That's a lot. Very good. So we'll move through a couple of different variations of dolphin, and then we'll just see about the elbow stand, the Pincha Mayurasana. So let's go into downward facing dog. Have your hands be shoulder width apart. Sometimes we have our hands wider than that. But for this, we want to have them just about shoulder width apart. And then externally rotate through your arms and see how that lifts your chest up. So I want you to fully externally rotate through your arms and see how far you can go back into your down dog with your arms fully externally rotated and your elbow pits fully turning away. It makes you come a lot out of your down dog, right? Like I'm way up here. I'm kind of like in a square. But from here, now we release elbows down towards the ground, and let's even take them all the way into dolphin. So we'll take one foot and step it into the center and lift the other leg up and back. Let's bring that same side hand, the opposite hand up like we did earlier into the downward facing dog. So we still have our foot, our grounded foot, and that same side elbow down on the ground. And then we're gonna take it into a cobra position or cow position with the back, arching the spine, and reach toe towards head. Yeah, and then lower it back down. And release your elbow back down into your dolphin. Hips come side to side, walk it out. Super strong shoulders here. Now take the other leg up and back. Lift your face, lift your chest, and come up onto your other hand, and then reach your toe towards your head. Lift your chest, keeping everything really stable and grounded if it's towards the ground, and all the things above the ground, keeping them very mobile. And then release that elbow back down towards the ground, the foot back down towards the ground, and we can take a wiggly child's pose. And just take some relaxation or some movement. Just allow all the tension that we just built up in the body to come out. You can even stand up and do your Qigong. Whatever feels like it might really help. Lastly, we'll take a block. We've already been working really hard with our hands. So we're going to take a reprieve. And you can take the block in your hands like this so that it kind of relieves that pressure of having to keep your hands wide. But we want the hands wide, right? Because if our hands go together, like in headstand position, our chest comes down. And that's not going to work for a back bending elbow stand. So again, we come, forearms on the ground, palms up, suction cup yourself, so traction your arms apart from each other, and then turn your palms down towards the ground. And now you've got the L shape in the block on both sides of the long edge of the block. And now we're going to lift the hips up, flex the feet, lift the hips up, walk towards your elbows, look up towards the block, strong shoulders. You can take one foot to the center and lift the other leg up. And then come up onto your toe. Keep looking towards the block though. So that might just be like, like you're looking towards the block and then you're coming up onto your toe. And then you're looking towards the block and then you're coming up onto your toe. right? So we're doing both of those things. And then we come back, knees come down. You can take your forehead to the ground for just a moment. Child's pose. And flex your feet, lift your hips up. Walk yourself towards your elbows. The other foot comes to the middle. Lift your other leg up and back. Look towards your block. And lift your heel off the ground. And look towards the block. And lift your heel off the ground. Keep moving between these two positions. Staying really stable through everything that's touching the ground, including and your shoulders, right? Really stable through your shoulders. All right, and take a break. Forehead to the ground. And now, well, let's wiggle it out. And I just want to give you a moment of play. We'll just take a couple minutes, and you can see about like a little hop from there, from the one-legged dolphin, and you can see about just like a little hop into what we really would rather have is a levitation into the elbow stand, right? But it's okay also to add a little hop if you need it. So you can unmute and ask any questions that you have. Making sure that those elbows and hands are the same distance apart from each other. Yeah. And that we keep trying to look up because this is a back bend. Nice. The closer your feet are to your elbows, the easier it's gonna be. So, and also waiting until you're actually up until you go fully into your back bend. Nice, keep hiding those armpits. Like it's like you're trying to tuck your armpits in and like hide them from. All right, let's go ahead and finish it up. So make sure that you've done both sides. We're gonna lay down on the ground, with legs up in the air. Feel your back on the ground. We just did a lot of back bending, so we're gonna re-establish the core tone. We're gonna reach past the toes, crunching for 20. Keep breathing. And feet to ground, knees bent. We'll take one leg and cross it over the other and twist. If you feel like this is just not enough of a twist for you, you can take a pillow or a block or something underneath. So like lift your hips up and slide something underneath your hips. But we don't want to be too active here. So if you do that, make sure that you're doing something that's chill, something that's relaxed. Releasing the opposite shoulder down for the ground, and you can look away from your knees. And then lifting your knees up, uncross, Cross the other way. And twist. Taking any modifications, looking in the direction opposite your knees, relaxing your opposite shoulder down towards the ground. And bring your knees up, uncross. Pull your knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a big hug. Give yourself some gratitude, a big smile. So much love for self, for like showing up for yourself, for being awesome. And let's rock and roll. Let's go up one side of the spine and down the other. Moving in a circle, up one side, down the other. And then let's switch it. Go up one side and down the opposite. And rocking and rolling up to seated. So I hope that you drink lots of water, but you know, maybe not a ton of water tonight so that you can sleep. I'm so curious about how everybody is sleeping after this, because it's so much like kind of exhausting ourselves and like doing all these stretches. And so yeah, I'm just like, I'm curious, but I also want to make sure that you take good care of yourselves. Maybe even give yourself a little self-massage, you know, just rubbing any muscles that are sore or whatever, taking some time to care for yourself after doing such intense work. And I think that you're amazing, and thank you for coming to class. You can unmute and ask any questions, and have a really good night.
Thank you, Tree.
You're welcome. Have a good competition. Oh my gosh, that's so exciting.
Hey. Yeah, I'm excited.
Bye, Luna.
I feel amazing.
Yay!
Thanks, Tree.
You're welcome, Anita. Good to
I know
see
what to
you.
practice before school now.
Awesome.
Don't see me out there.
Do you see me practicing while we're in class?
Dude, I need to see you practicing. I just kind of like wake up because it's 6 a.m. for me.
Oh my
so
gosh.
I kind of like have to roll out of bed and get on. So I'm mostly a little disoriented. But I'm gonna peek at you, pin you a little bit on the side, and we can like play.
Let's do it. Text me.
I'm down. I'll text you. Thanks for everything.